So you got a picture of my dog beds here in my stamp room because something has changed since the last live video I did, which was probably a week ago. And it wouldn't let me flip my camera. Hi, Sue. It wouldn't let me flip my camera around till after I went live. And then the menu came up so that I could flip the camera around. How weird. Okay, so a few things before I get started. I wanted to show you my shoes. So let me do that. Ha! Tie-dye Crocs. Okay. And my shirt. Oh, it's backwards. That's weird. Okay. It says card makers don't lie. They embellish. But look at the card makers and it's meant to look kind of sparkly, but I kind of thought it looked tie-dyed. So I figured then that it kind of matched with my tie-dye shoes. Hee hee. Okay, so I wanted to talk about that. And then I wanted to talk about the last 3 weeks really quick. I don't know why I'm even mentioning it, but I guess it was really nerve-wracking for me, and so I'm feeling the need to talk about it. So this being breast cancer awareness, that's why I thought I'd talk about it, because it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And so I had my yearly mammogram the end of September, and it was on a Thursday, so probably like the last Thursday in September. And so I have that My Chart thing where you can go in and look at the stuff before you hear from people, really. So it said that there were 2 areas of concern and that I had to come back. Well, you know, that's just not something you want to hear, and you tend to freak out. All right, let me bring this up on my iPad so I can see comments. Okay, so I called right away. So I got that news like the next day, so on a Friday. So actually, you know, I got it Saturday, I guess. The email, I don't know, it was really late saying that there was new information in my chart thing. And so I didn't see it until Saturday. So I had to wait till Monday to make my appointment. And so the soonest appointment that I could get was the next Thursday. So the next week. And sorry, I'm trying to get this brought up on my iPad. There we go. And so they said I would be having another mammogram and possibly an ultrasound if needed. So they booked both of those appointments, one right after another. So I went in then a week ago yesterday, and they did the mammogram and then came back in and said that I had to go wait in another room and they would be coming to get me for the ultrasound. And I'm like, oh my word. So I'm sitting there waiting with a million things going through my mind. Now, my mom had breast cancer, and she was like, I think in her late 70s or early 80s. It was right around that age. And she had one of her breasts removed. And so, you know, I freak out about it. And so I'm sitting there waiting. Finally, they came and got me and did the ultrasound. And while I have had 2 biopsies in the past, I've been through this, was like my 3rd time of going through this stuff. I'd never had an ultrasound before. They sent me straight to having biopsies the other 2 times. And so I'm having this ultrasound, and she kept clicking and measuring, which every time I could hear her doing that, it was freaking me out. And so then she's like, oh, I guess I should do up into your armpit. And she's clicking and measuring. And I thought, oh my word. I'm just thinking all this clicking and measuring, you know, is not a good sign. And so then when she gets done, she tells me that the radiologist is probably going to come in and want to do some more. So more waiting in between with people, you know, sitting in a room by myself and a million things going through my head. So the radiologist comes in, and fortunately she was one that had done the last biopsy that I had over in Corvallis, and she's really nice. And so she's looking, and the one area that they were looking at, she told me what that was right away and that it was nothing. And then the second spot was, she thought it was a cyst and just fluid filled. And so she left it up to me. She's like, we can either follow it or we can do a needle aspiration, which, okay, doesn't that freak you out right there? Freak out! Again, freaking out with having the thought of having to have a needle stuck in there, right? Anyway, and make sure of what it is. And, you know, if fluid didn't come out or whatever, and they thought they needed to do a biopsy, they would change it to that. Well, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I don't want to sit around and worry about something till the next time I have to go have a mammogram, if it's something or not something. So as much as I didn't want to have a needle stuck in me, I opted for that. So again, I had to wait for a week for that to happen, which was yesterday. So I went in, and first let me tell you, you know, I was trying not to worry about it because she kind of made me feel that it was probably just a simple cyst and nothing to worry about, but still I was worrying, you know, because you can't help it. But as awful as it sounds, it really, they've never hurt me one time. In the 3 times I've been through any of this stuff, you know, right away they numb you up and you barely feel even the numbing part. And then when they go to do the rest, you don't feel that at all. And of course, there's always somebody there carrying on a conversation with you about whatever. Who knows what? We were talking about taco time yesterday, believe it or not. Mostly about taco time. And it was the gal, the assistant in there that brought up that. So it was a funny conversation, and in no time at all it was over. And it was the simple cyst. She got all the fluid out. There was nothing weird about it. It was done and over with, and I was very thankful and happy. So I'm much more calm and relaxed now than I have been for the last 3 weeks. So anyway, make sure you get checked, and if you have to go through a similar thing, just know that it's not going to be painful. That's my main thing, is don't be scared of that part. It's scary, the whole thing's scary, but don't be scared of it hurting, because they've never once hurt me. Okay, onward and upward, let's get to stamping and do something fun. All right, thanks for listening about that. Thank you, Sue. Okay, so I've got a really fun, I think it's a fun card, and the sample I made ahead of time, I did Christmas. I will show you that at the end, and it is so stinking cute. So you don't want to miss seeing the Christmas one. I'm going to do a Halloween one today, just because I wanted to, I think it's going to be cute. I haven't done the Halloween one, so, you know, it's going to be kind of, I've got in my mind what I want to do here, and hopefully it'll turn out. So I'm using the spiral die stamp, and what I want to show you, hi Leah, what I want to show you is with this is how I do my big background stamps. Now you can do these on your Stamparatus for sure, which I have, or whatever, you know, stamping platform thing you have, positioner. But I just find this a really easy way to do the big background dies. So I have it mounted, you know, with the cling stuff, and it's just in the stamp case, and I just leave it right there. Okay, so let me bring in all my little parts and pieces here. And I have a piece of white that I've cut to 4 by 5 1/4. And you can always cut that down another layer size if you want to layer another color behind that before you put it onto your card. But so, and you can leave it at 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 and trim it down from there if you want. So I'm going to be using the white, and then since I'm doing this one Halloweeny, I'm going to use black, and I'm going to use pumpkin pie. Okay, so I'm going to ink up with pumpkin pie first. And so we're just going to leave our stamp right like that. Oh, I was going to try not to use the word hour because I watch so many videos and people are like, okay, now let's do hour this and hour that. And I thought, no, you know, there's nobody in there doing it with you. It's just you. I know that's weird, but it's like, and then I find myself doing the same thing. Okay, so there it is, good and inked up with pumpkin pie ink, which is a good orange for Halloween, I think. All right, so now I have some scrap paper here. I also have an eraser. You can find these at Walmart, Fred Meyer, Rite Aid, wherever, well, maybe not Rite Aid, anywhere where they have stationery kind of stuff, Staples. They're super cheap. Maybe they have these at the Dollar Tree, I'm not sure. But I got mine here at Fred Meyer's, which is, if you don't have a Fred Meyer's, it's like a, you know, big grocery department store kind of thing. If you, what else do they call these things that they're making with like hockey pucks and jar lids and putting felt on the bottom? And using them with your stamp positioners. It's that sort of a thing. Okay, so we've got that inked. I'm going to put this paper, I'm just going to drop it right in the middle there and put my piece of scrap paper over this. I promise you, you're going to want to do this part, or else you'll have ink everywhere all over your fingers. And then you can use your hand. You do not have to have an eraser or any special tool. You can just rub it with your hand. But since I have this, this makes it really easy. Pull that off, and there is my tie-dye piece. Okay, so it was on like this. I want to make sure that I kind of remember what the top and the bottom is. And I think what I will do right now is flip it, because when I put it back on, I want to have the top be the bottom and the bottom be the top. So just flip it around one time, and I'll set that to the side there so that I can remember. Let me grab a wipe. And I'm going to try to get most of the ink up off of there. And I'll probably now have orange and black fingers, because it's going to get on my fingers too. I tried to do Halloween colors this time, and every time I pick out something that looks sort of orangey to me, it comes out looking more pink. Because I wanted it more orangey and black, and it looks more fluorescent pink and black, but whatever, it's still Halloween-y, I guess. Okay, so there is that mess kind of cleaned up. And then I'm just going to take my, this thing, not Stamp and Scrub, whatever it is, my spongy cleany thing. Can't remember what it's called. Yes, Sue, Chucky. Well, I've never heard him called Debbie. That's funny. Maybe they should call it Karen. Okay. All right, so we've done orange. I just want to let it dry a few minutes. Let me fan it. Okay, so I'm using my Memento Black this time. This is a fun background. Do any of you guys have this background stamp yet? I like it. Of course, I like tie-dye, and it goes right along with my tie-dye Crocs I have on today and stuff. Did I do that on purpose? Well, maybe a little, sort of, kind of. Okay, so I'm going to bring in this piece, which this was the bottom before, and this was the top. And I'm going to lay it down here and maybe not put it right quite in the middle. I think I will, maybe I'll move it just down slightly. Okay, and we'll put this back on. Do this. You'll have fun with it, Sue. All right. Looky, looky, very cool. Okay, so that was fun, and let me just clean this up real quick. What do you guys think about leaving it in the stamp case like this? I just, you know, it all depends on what you're doing, I guess, if you want to do it on your stamp positioner. But I just find it really easy to leave it in the case and do it like this. Okay, and we will just, I will just finish cleaning this up here. And I'll be done with it. Okay, all done with that. Alrighty, so now next I'm going to use the Picture This dies. Hi, Nancy. So there's 2 dies in this set. This one has all these different circles, and they have stitching around them. So when you cut them out, the piece that you, like the circle, this part is going to have stitching as well as what's left on the frame. I'm going to use this one today. And so I'm just going to position it right in the middle. I'm not sure which end I will end up having be the top and which one will be the bottom. I just want to make sure that it's pretty straight on my paper. I don't want it wonky. All right, I'm going to run this through my machine real fast. There's that you can look at. I'm going to use this set too while I run this through my machine. Okay, now here we go. So here is the piece I'm not going to use, and there you can see that there's stitching around the edges. So keep these pieces. You might want to use them for something. I'm not going to be using them today, but you know, you could put them on a card as a layer. I probably should have planned to do that, and we could have made 2 cards at once. So you could do something like this, and then put another piece with a greeting or something. You know, I don't know, whatever. But hang on to them. You'll want to use them for something. All right. So here is the frame. Now I have cut a base out of card base out of pumpkin pie, and I have cut this piece. There's the other side. This is out of the paper, the party pattern paper that you can get with Hostess rewards. So there's pretty colored sides on one side, and the other sides all have black and white. And so I wanted a polka dot, and I found it in that pack of paper. So that is what I'm using there. Now you can keep in mind, you can make this card that I'm making today easily into a shaker card. Hi, Nancy, if you want. And that was my first intention, and then I messed up the card that I practiced with, and I thought, you know what? Kind of like it just as it is and not making it into a shaker card, so that's what I decided to go with for today. Isn't that cute? I love that color and just that combination. Okay, so let me do some stamping. I'm going to use, like I said, the Clever Cats, and I also brought out the Cutest Halloween set in case I want to use something out of it as well. But I'm going to use this funny cat right here. And I wish there was dies for this set, but there are not. So I will. It's really hard not to say we an hour. Okay, I will just have to fussy cut a little bit. I pulled the wrong cat off. That's not the one I wanted. I want the one that has his tail. He looks like a shelf kitty. I made some of those back in the day. Shelf sitting cats and floor sitting cats too. They were so cute when I used to do bazaars back in the day. You know what? I'm kind of thinking now that I want to do this with my Stamparatus, because since I'm doing this black cat and it may need to be stamped more than once, I think that I will do it on here because I want to make sure that he is good and inked in and doesn't look all splotchy. Okay. Let me get things out of the way here so you can see what I'm doing. All right. Oopsie. I made a big mess right there. Let me clean that off. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and do the first one, and then I know I'll have to do it again. Doesn't look too bad, but right there in his body, there's a little bit of white. He's so cute. He looks perturbed. Boy, our Miss Kitty, who looks just like this cat, she can look really perturbed sometimes. And she's a biter. Like if she thinks I'm not paying attention and she wants to be fed, she'll, ooh, that turned out so good. She'll just try to bite me, and I've gotten to where I watch her because I don't want to be bit. Her teeth are sharp. I'll say, don't bite me. She knows what that means too. stinker. Okay. Yeah, that turned out really great. Don't you like when that happens? Okay. All right, so we've got that, and then I'm going to stamp the pumpkin. I don't really think I need to do this in the Stamparatus though, so let me just pull my paper out of here. And I will put that on a block. And let's see here, the pumpkin. Yeah, I need to stamp that in black because I want the eyes and the nose and that to be black. I wasn't sure if I wanted to do black or like maybe Cajun Craze, but I think I'll just go with the black. Okay. That's weird. It came out with some weirdness there. So let me clean that off and give it one more try. I think I might have had my stamp too inky. All right, I'm happier with that. Okay, and then I need this piece to color in the pumpkin. And I will do that with the pumpkin pie. All right, how are we doing here? Do I have any questions I need to answer? Doesn't look like it. All right. So now this solid stamp doesn't fill it in like completely to the edges, but it doesn't do too bad. All right, cute. And then I want the hat. Do I want the hat? Or do I want the little cat coming out? I think I want the hat. See, there's the hat you can put on the pumpkin, or there's the little cat coming out. But I think, do I want the hat? Okay, let me see how I think it might look. I don't think I've put the hat on the pumpkin. Oh, that's cute. All right, I'm gonna do the hat. And I'm not sure what color. Everything else is just orange and black. But I could do like a purple hat might be kind of fun. I think. Let me think about this for a second. So we'll have the black cat. I'm going to make him have green eyes. And yeah, I just think I would like that purple. And Highland Heather is one of the colors like in the cute paper pad that goes with the Halloween stuff. So I think I'll just give him a purple hat. Maybe I need some more paper. Since I had to redo that, pumpkin. Oh. Let's see how this turns out. Okay, I think it'll be fine once it's cut out. I grabbed my light granny apple green because I want to give this cat some green eyes. And I think maybe I will make the buckle on the hat. No, it needs to be black, doesn't it? Yeah. Okay, I'm attempting to grab my black or gray. Here, this one. Light basic black. And I'm going to make the buckle black. Oh, you guys, I made apple dumplings. Actually, I'm going to call them apple fall aparts. I've been wanting to do it for years. Try making apple dumplings. We used to get them at Kmart back in the day in their little restaurant, and they were so good. And then there was a like a fruit stand or little market along the road. Oh, it's up towards between here and another town, Tillamook. And they sold them, and they were really good there. And there's other places that have sold them over the years. But I thought, how hard can they be? So I looked at recipes, and pretty much the recipes were all the same. But I like it the way Kmart used to serve them back in the day. They put this hot vanilla pudding sauce on them when they served them, and they're wonderful. And so that's how I always make them when we've bought them to go from somewhere like that little market and stuff. I'd still come home and make hot vanilla pudding sauce to put over them, even though they always sent along like a cinnamon sauce stuff to put on them. Gotta have that warm vanilla pudding on them. So anyway, I went grocery shopping this morning. I thought, okay, I'm going to make some apple dumplings. And so I went the easy route and picked up Pillsbury pie crust dough. And then I got 4 Granny Smith apples. And I already had brown sugar and butter and stuff, spices. So what I ended up doing was I mixed up some cinnamon, clove. What else did I put in? Cinnamon and clove. I sprinkled in a little bit of pumpkin pie spice. Why not? Nutmeg. Nutmeg was the other thing. Okay. So I mixed up the spices, and then I put in some brown sugar and mixed up the brown sugar with the spices. And then I got the pie dough and kind of cut what I thought would be enough, which wasn't, and I had to add more. So anyway, I put a little bit of butter down in the middle of the pie dough square. And oh yeah, I cut my apples out with my apple slicer core peeler thing. And I wasn't thinking about it slicing. I was just thinking that it was going to peel and core. And then I saw, oh yeah, it's slicing the apple. And so I just went with it. I thought, well, that might in the long run make it easier to eat than one solid apple. And it maintains the shape of the apple. So I thought that'll be all right. So there, I have those cut out. Now I just have to cut out the hat. So anyway, I put the brown sugar spice stuff down into the core of the apple after I set it on top of a little bit of butter on top of the dough. And then I put a little more butter on top of, just right in the middle. And then I wrapped the dough all around, and I put it in a glass pan, sprayed it with Pam, and I cooked it, I baked them at 400 for 45 minutes. And they were looking all beautiful and everything, but some point right at the end, they kind of, the bottom opened up, and so they kind of oozed out. The apples kind of slid out a little bit, and so that's why I'm calling them apple fall aparts instead of apple dumplings. But they smell heavenly, and I'm pretty positive they're going to taste wonderful, even though they don't look pretty. But it was a learning experience. Next time, what I'm going to look for is just an apple core. Do you ladies know, is there such an animal that just cores your apple, and then I can peel the apple, and that way the apple won't be sliced and won't have the tendency, I think, to then kind of slide around and fall apart. Hi, Rosie. Well, yeah, you think I'm making you hungry? You should smell my house. It's like, I want it now. I don't want to wait for dessert later. So there's those pieces. All right, let me set that aside. So it was just fun. Like I said, I've been wanting to try making my own apple dumplings for a long, long time. And it's not a hard thing, so I don't know why. I guess because I was thinking in terms of making my own pie crust, and that always, you know, even that's not hard, but it's not the easiest thing either. Okay, so I am going to be stamping and embossing a greeting right here in the middle, and I wanted to have a fabulous Halloween, and it fits perfectly in that area. And this is from the Cutest Halloween set. So let me do this. I'm going to use Versamark water stamp pad. And I think what I am going to do here, so that this doesn't slip and slide around, is just put it in place back here and do that, and that will help. It will help somewhat. So yeah, they didn't burn or scorch or anything, and it smells good. I think it'll taste just fine, even though they don't look very pretty. And then next time, probably not having them sliced will be a better way to go. Okay, I'm going to try to get this in the middle here, but I can always adjust on the back if I don't have it in the middle when I go to attach it. All right. So I'm just going to put some, and I should have done my little powder thing on there first, but hopefully there's not any weird fingerprints. It doesn't look like there is. That's going to keep the powder attached. Just on the words is where we want it, and that looks pretty good. All right, let me just get my heat tool going here. Oh, I thought you were giving me the name of a core. I've got to go back and see what you said there, Rosie Posey. Okay, that went fast. Have a fabulous Halloween. So what the thing I'm talking about that I used is not one of those things that you just shove down the apple. It's one of those things you put the apple on and it peels the apple, cores the apple, and then it's kind of spiral slices it. That's, you know, I just wanted it to peel it and core it, and I forgot that it does the slicing part. All right, there is an apple core. Yeah, I figured there had to be. We've got a kitchen shop down on the bayfront here. I'll have to go look down there and see if they have one. Okay, so see, I can get that positioned right in the middle where I want it. But first of all, before I do any of the gluing for that, I need to figure out where I want these guys to be. So I'm going to put him down here, I think. Let's see how this fits. And this one we'll put up in this window. Let's see. I'll have to cut a bit of the cat's tail off. Oh, the poor kitty. Yeah, I'm liking that. All right, so that is what we're going to go with. And what I'm going to do first here is just put some glue on the back of this hat and get it glued on. And then I can start putting all the dimensionals on the back of the tie-dye piece, because that whole layer is going to be popped up. And that's what I want to show you how then, so with it being popped up, and I'll show you my mistake or tell you my mistake, what I did wrong. You can easily make this into a shaker card. So, you know, I keep all the outside edge pieces of my thingies. Hey, I'm using Nancy's word. She says thingies. All right, so I'm going to put this one along here because it fits that way. Now, if I were going to make a shaker card, and on my original one, I was just going to make the center part a shaker. You want to have a border of your foam all along here so that none of your shaker bits would escape out of it. But since I'm not making this into a shaker, I don't have to have it right up against the edge. I'll put that piece there like that. This will just make good use of all of these pieces. I'll put them however they fit. This one can go here. I'll put that piece there. Let's see what else we have. Oh, there's an actual dimensional. Okay, that's kind of stuck there, so let me just cut this, and I will cut it like that. Oh, I'll put it in here because it's skinny, so that'll fit good in here. Let me do it from this end. Wow, it was almost exact. I just need to trim off one little tiny piece. There we go. Getting there. All right. No, those are all cut. So this, about 3 will fit there. And then I need some for, let me just do 2. Will fit in here, get it on there a little bit better. There we go. And I'll just put one in this little spot. So I just need some for down there. And I will use this. Glad to be using some of this stuff up. There we go. Now I can get that out of the way. Okay. Now I have to think about this for a minute. Because I'm going to need to, I'm just going to put dimensionals on the back of him, and then he can sit right where I want him to, and he'll be the right height. So using up more scraps here. Look, I cleaned a whole sheet off. That makes me happy. All right, so that one's ready to go, and then I can do the same with this guy. What have we got here for him? Got a piece there. That's kind of, and one. Let's see though. Yeah, that's okay. I need to make sure I just keep it at the top, because then I'll have to put a little glue. Okay, I think we're cooking with oil here. All right, let me bring in my scrap bucket, because now I have to peel the backs off all of this stuff. Oh, come on. There's something kind of satisfying about peeling the backs off. You know, kind of like when you pop those plastic packing things. All right, did I get it all? Woohoo! I did. All right, let me bring this in, and if I have to do any trimming because something's wonky, I can. That looks pretty decent. Nothing's hanging over the edges, so we are good. All right, I'll keep it on there since some of those dimensionals are still showing. And let me just poke these like that, and then it makes them a little bit easier to grab. Come on now. There we go. All right, now I didn't want that. I need to take this piece off. And let me just put a little glue on it instead. And And this is going to go right in here. There we go. Cute. Cute. Okay. And then the kitty cat. I think the backing's already off of this piece. There's that. And then I'm just going to put a little bit of glue here and here. Then I'm going to have to amputate part of his tail. Poor little guy. All right, he's going to go right in there like that. I need another dimensional under there. I'm looking for a good piece to put under there. This piece right here will work. There we go. Okay. Meow. All right, poor thing. Cute. Okay, let's get this onto the front of the card and then we'll finish decorating it. I'm just going to attach it with my ATG. Meow. Okay. I'm sure it would be more of a scream than that if you whacked off his tail. Oh, I like it on the pumpkin card base. That is looking cute. I can't wait to show you guys the Christmas one. It's so adorable. Okay, now then, oh, I've got a piece for the inside too. Let me see, what greeting do I want to put on it? Where's my other, here it is. Okay, we did have a fabulous Halloween. My tail says it's the twitching hour. Treat yourself. Have a fabulous Halloween. Treat yourself. Well, let's just do treat yourself. That's kind of cute. Treat yourself, because I'm not going to give you any candy. All you're getting from me is this card. You better just go treat yourself. All right. Treat yourself. I'm going to stamp it in black since the card base is orange. We'll keep the whole black and orange thing going here. Treat yourself. All right, and then from the cute Halloween papers, this pack, can't see much because I've got all my scraps in the front, but it's seriously cute Halloween paper. Okay, I cut this strip here to go across the bottom for a little something something on the inside. And I'll just snip off that extra. Obviously, I set my stamp pad or something, my stamp pad on there and made a mess. It's a good thing the paper had two sides. There we go. All right, now I have these cute stars. Ha! They're called that. Cute stars. Oh, I told you I was going to tell you how to make this a shaker card. But well, I did tell you how to put your foam on there. But what you wanted to do before you put your foam on there is, if you wanted to make this a shaker card, is to cut yourself a piece of acetate and attach that behind this window right here. Well, that's the window I was going to do. And then put all your foam on, and then put your shaker bits in before you glue this black piece of paper on. I hope that makes sense. And then just that part would be shakery. You could make the whole thing be a shaker card if you wanted by doing the same thing, but you'd have to put acetate over all the windows. So since I messed up the first time, I decided, okay, I'm just not going to make a shaker card then, fine. And since I like the way the other one turned out, I decided to not make this one a shaker card also. Okay, I'm looking for my do-it-all tool here. And I am going to take some of these cute, cute stars and sprinkle them around in here. Too cute. Let's do some of the purpley ones. That will match with the purple hat and pull all of that together. And I'm going to call that good. What do you think? I think it's cute. I love this card. Ooh, I got a star over here. It escaped. All right. Oh, now I get to show you the Christmas one. Eek! It's so adorable. But I love the whole tie-dye thing. I think that turned out so cute. All right. So let me show you the stamp set I used for the Christmas one. I used the Be Jolly. Stinkin' adorable. And then for the greeting, I used We Wish You a Merry Christmas. And on the inside, well, I'll show you, I used this one. So is that not the cutest Santa ever? Okay, I'll leave that there so you can see. Here it comes. Eek! Is it cute? I love it. I just love his little arms. We wish you a Merry Christmas. Okay, I used, the sparkles that I used are retired. So they're Stampin' Up, but they're retired ones, but there are some equally as cute ones. Don't forget to look in the annual catalog too, because you'll find pretty embellishments for Christmas in there also. But I love this. Okay, so the colors I used were Real Red, and I used Shaded Spruce, which is a darker green. And then this green here, the polka dot, was from, if you got a free pack of this during celebrations, it was from the Peaceful Prints Designer Series paper, so it was that one there. You could also just take a piece of green cardstock and a white marker or whatever and do some flecking around to get a speckled background if you wanted to do that. And then inside, it's the most wonderful time of the year. I just think this turned out so cute. I love both of these. It'll be hard to give them away because I like them both. Thank you guys. I was hoping you would like them. They're just coming out of the, I just love him. I think that is so cute, him popping out of the window like that. And I like these two, the kitty sitting on the shelf, even though we had to whack his tail off. And the pumpkin up there. Very cute. Thanks for joining me today, you guys. I really appreciate you being here. And for those of you watching on YouTube, thank you. Please hit the like button for me if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, or if you're not following my page here on Facebook. That would really help both of my pages to be seen if you would do those things. And I hope you guys have a great weekend. Oh, let me bring in my host code if you'd like to order with me. This is my October host code, and this is the address to where you can find all these fabulous Stampin' Up! Products. So there's a place at checkout to put that code for any order under $150. And when you shop with me and spend $50, before taxes and shipping and that, I will send you a thank you gift the following month. That T just wants to pop right up on out of there. So, yeah, if you have any questions, just be sure to message me or comment and leave your questions, and I will do my best to answer. And have a great weekend and happy stamping. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.